Hello, welcome to my channel if you're the first time. Welcome back if you've been following. This is the last day of February, so it's time for our February wrap-up. We're gonna be talking about the books I read this month. So, we read Beg, Borrow, and Steal by Sarah Adams. This is part of a series. I did a video on it 2 weeks ago, so go check out that video. But this is, I think it's titled When in Rome series. Emily Walker hates having her carefully crafted world disrupted by anyone, most of all her legendary nemesis, Jack Bennet. He's the opposite of the wonderful hero she dreams up in her double life as a romance writer, which is why Emily was perfectly happy when Jack left Rome, Kentucky, mid-school year with his fiancée. The last thing Emily saw coming was Jack's return at the start of the summer after calling off the wedding and ending his relationship, but he's here to stay as her colleague and her neighbor. Jack is glad to be back, eager to renovate his house and work on the next mystery novel under his best-selling pen name. But when he realizes he's now neighbors with the one woman who has always pushed his buttons, he discovers something even more excited about, thwarting Emily and her pretty plans to sabotage his return. With their chemistry-fueled animosity at an all-time high, Emily accidentally sends an email to her school's principal that could reveal her secret literary side hustle. She needs to steal back her manuscript, and Jack, she hates to admit, is just the man to help her. Surprisingly, he agrees, with the unlikely alliance to put an end to the rivalry, or could it lead to a steamy plot twist they never saw coming? So this is the third book in the series. It follows a Walker family. When in Rome is Noah Walker, he's the oldest. Then it goes to Annie Walker, who's the baby. Then this is Emily, she's the oldest girl, the second oldest. But yeah, this is a story. Her nemesis had moved away, was going to get married, came back, wasn't anymore. All of Sarah Adams' stories, at least in this series, are told from dual perspectives. So a chapter, it'll be like chapter 1, Jack. Chapter 2, Jack. Chapter 3, Emily. You know what I mean? So you know whose perspective it's from, and she always jumps back and forth between the two perspectives. Heads up, there was some spice. I'm not going to go too much more detail because these are just a wrap up. If you want to know my full parts, go check out the story. But there were some spicy parts, I guess. So there are, she tells you at the beginning of the book, there's 2 chapters you should skip if you don't want to deal with that. Other than that, yeah. So the next one I read, this is the last one in the series. This is In Your Dreams. This follows Madison Walker. She is the second oldest girl, so it goes, yeah, Noah, Emily, Madison, Annie. So this says, Madison Walker left Rome, Kentucky, determined to make it in the culinary world. But after years of chasing success in New York, all she has to show for it is her shattered confidence and a desperate need for a fresh start. Coming home isn't part of the plan until an unexpected job offer lands in her lap. The head chef position at a new farm-to-table restaurant in her hometown. The only catch? It comes from James Huxley, owner of Huxley Farms, her brother's best friend. James has always played it safe, keeping his head down and running the family business. But when Madison's happiness is on the line, he's willing to take up his estranged brother's offer to launch a restaurant. James has loved her quietly for years, knowing she's never seen him as more than an annoyance, but now that she's back, he's determined to change that. Madison and James are tasked with launching the dreamy restaurant in record time, but keeping things strictly professional soon becomes impossible, and the town can't help but meddle in her relationship. As opening night looms closer, Madison fears tries to hold her back. When an unexpected disaster collides with a long-simmering sibling feud, both Madison and James will have to face their biggest insecurities and decide if love is worth the risk or if some dreams are safer left untouched. So, yeah, this is James and Madison's story. She's there, she's living in Rome, Kentucky in book 1 and 2. I think at the end of book 1, at the end of book 2, sorry, she moves to New York to do her culinary dreams. She was a teacher. She decided she did it mostly for her sister. So that's where she's been. But in this book, she's done with New York. She comes back. And you get to see all the drama. Again, it goes back and forth between both of the personalities. And again, read the beginning if you don't want any of the spice. She is big on that. So, I'm not going to go into too much more detail. Love this series. There is a lot of cussing in it. So, be warned of that. But yeah, for my full thoughts, go watch that. The next one. Louis L'Amour, Daybreakers. You can kind of tell that I'm slowly reading this here. There's like 20 of these books. I think. Okay, that might be a slight exaggeration, but not much. There's like 17. So we're slowly reading these. But this is the Daybreakers. In the Daybreakers, Louis L'Amour spins the tale of two brothers who couldn't be more different, yet remain bound by their restlessness of spirit. You had to push to start a fight with Oren Sackett, but not with his brother Tyrell. Ty had been born into trouble, and the night he stepped between his brother and a bullet changed the course of both their lives forever. Now the trail pointed west to Santa Fe, a frontier town on the edge of Ireland. But justice had to come before putting down roots in the lawless land. Oren took on the job of marshal, while Ty commanded fear and respect even without a badge. And ultimately, when a loose end from their past turned up, one brother was forced to revert to his old ways. The other's dreams were to be realized. So, this is Ty and Oren Sackett's story. I'm not going to go into too much detail because obviously you've seen I'm reading this, I'm finishing up this series, so eventually there will be a video. I just figured it was better to break them up because as you see, not very big. So in between other series, I'm reading one. So yeah, that is The Daybreakers by Louis L'Amour. Stay tuned for that video so you can get rating and for more details. Okay, the next one I read. This one was a long one. Murtagh by Christopher Pyle. I'm going to mess up his last name. Paolini. This is considered the 5th book in the Inheritance cycle. This is Eragon, Eldest, Brensinger, Inheritance. I did a video on this last week, so go check it out. So you can see why I didn't read as many books this month. This is a long one. It says, the world is no longer safe for the dragon rider Murtagh and his dragon Thorn. Left to face the consequences of their reluctant role they played in a reign of terror, they are hated and alone on the outskirts of society. But when whispers of something wicked lurking in the shadows of Galatia, the two soon begin an epic journey to find an outwitted witch veiled in mystery. In this gripping novel featuring one of the most popular characters in the Inheritance cycle, a dragon rider must discover what he stands for in a world that has abandoned him. Murtagh is a perfect book with which to enter the world of Eragon for the first time, or to joyfully return. So, if you look on like Goodreads, it's going to say this is book number 5. I will say this stands alone. I had not read the Inheritance cycle in years. I didn't even know this book existed until I was like, oh, I'm doing a year of series. Let me just check to see which series that I need to do more on. So you could, I would recommend reading the other 4 first, Eragon, Eldest, Brensinger, Inheritance. I would recommend reading those first, but you don't have to read this one. So in that aspect, it did seem different. There's one character from the old series that shows up at the end. Mostly this is just Murtagh's story. So, if you want my further details, go read my Murtagh video. The last one that we read this month. Sorry, this one, my cousin did not have this one, so I had to read it digitally. Checked it out from Libby. This is Louis L'Amour's End of the Drive. He didn't have this one because this is just a collection of short stories. So it's basically all I'm going to say for now, because that'll be part of the Sackets video. But yeah, you just get a bunch. One is longer than the other. So this is not a part of the, it's kind of like how a lot of series have, you know, like the Lunar Chronicles. They had the 4 main ones, and then Fairest and Stars Above, which were like just add-ons. This is just kind of like that. But I wanted to read them because I'm trying to read all the series, and I've found reading series that I really like those additional books as well. So that is all the books we read in February. I was trying to get another one done before this video, which is why this is kind of last minute, and I didn't use my fancy camera. Guys, I promise, one of these days, I think, during the summer, I'll have more time so we can actually get learned in editing and doing things a little better with a better camera. But right now, school busy life, but we're still trying to get these out. So I guess you'll just have to wait for the book that I'm currently reading. But thank you for watching. If you like this, please give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to share this with anyone who might be interested in any of these books. These wrap-ups are more just details about the book and not really my opinions. If you want my opinions, yeah, go check out my When in Rome series video and my Murtagh finishing up the Inheritance Cycle video. And then stay tuned for the Saga video. Spoiler, you know it's coming. But yeah. And if you're new and haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because what better use of your time than you have to watch my videos. You know, it's just me chatting about books that I read and my love for them, because really it's my hobby. And if you haven't, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I don't only do these, right? I do my personal books, but I'm also a preschool teacher, so I will go through like how I would read a book to kids for you guys, so that can help. And then I fell in love with The Essential 55 by Ron Clark, so I've been doing that. So lots of fun things on my channel. When I remember, I also try to do shorts of Chelsea's Cozy Corner, right, where you can see how many chapters I read in that day. Just trying to keep the content flowing, so don't miss any of that. And as always, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you guys thought of any of these series. If I missed a book in any of these series, please let me know as I do the videos. And as always, just recommendations for any series that you have that you think would be good. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.